Hello, everyone. It's me again. Just the week is probably enjoying the weekend again. So before I go to talk about last week market, which kind of you can use the word not volatility this time, but dramatic. And we see the steep slip on Monday market due to fear of Delta, and then we see that really end up to be a record high again for the three index. So it was kind of amazing. And just want to show you about the central bank rate. This was taken about actually Tuesday timeline. So just bear with that. It's not the most current number. But what it was trying to illustrate to you is you can see the U.S. interest rate is really 0 to 0.25% only. And in China, you're always giving 3% lush, and then this is Brazil, I believe, 4.25%. So some country they want to get more cash, they more reserve, so they are kind of more get into attractive to people who put money into deposit. So therefore they're willing to give a higher interest rate. And you also see you know Japan is actually have a negative 0.1% interest rate, and so does I think SMB Swiss does 1.75%. So when if the situation continue, will be robust market continue rally, will actually Fed end up going to be have a negative interest rate. Somebody argue that with the inflationary being 5.4%, and interest still remains so low, which then beat the inflation, is actually negative interest rate already. So it depends your perspective. But I just want to let you know about the simple economics, understanding, U.S. Fed rate and compared to other country, so you can get perspective of that. Then before going off to talk about last week market recap, you really can look at Dow Jones graph. This is 3 months capturing. So it is very interesting if you dissect the graph, and which again there's no timeline on the bottom, but you can think about this stuff just pretty much telling you every quarter around 3 months timeline, you will pretty much see a cycle. From my perspective, is like you will get a steep and bounce back. It's like a V shape, and then this is a V shape. And now, if you look at it, compared to last week, last couple of weeks, you are well, this is last week because this is Monday. So we are actually just gone for a steep V shape again, like dipping and rebound. So and then we hit record high on Dow. So if you look at the historical, so sometimes you can do a statistic more precisely, checking the 50 days average, 100 days average, 250 days average, were typically what the market was talking about. But I don't need you to be so scientific and so into the numbers, but looking at graph and representation, and if you can just pull it up yourself to take a look at it. You can do it like 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months. Kind of look at the pattern. In this case, it's a 3 months. It's kind of give you an idea that I will pretty much saying you have to buy at a dip, right? Which I've been always talking about buying at a dip. In this case, you probably missed a dip already if you didn't buy Monday in this run, and you will be going up. It was about 2 to 3 weeks up. You can see this one and compare to this point here. Was it this point here compared to this point here? It was about 2 to 3 weeks. So if I have to do a prediction, right, which is I'm going to tell you the prediction for Dow, not nothing else, because I then have to look up a different index. But they probably behave very similarly, but Dow have been, well, actually take a dip a lot more because they're really pitching up much higher, and Nasdaq was a winner this week, gaining 2.8% up. You can tell that My prediction will be next week, which even though the futures at this point, I look it up, it was negative slightly for Dow and Nasdaq, all three index, but that's not very representative till the Asian market start open. You will start trading really again on the P market, then you can get a favor. If nothing happened this weekend and the Olympics started, people get excited, so maybe it will actually push up higher, depending on the market. Macroeconomics to me is more macroeconomics driver at this time, and also the earnings that coming in to play, but it's not necessarily the specific stock, right, that actually impact the overall macroeconomic environment or the optimism, investor optimism drive market up. So I will predict it will go up another week. So we are actually on the week of July 26th, right? So I predict this week will be still end of the week. July will still be pretty bullish. Okay. I know that FANG are gonna announce earnings, so it all depends how it happens. Some you gotta be careful, right? If you look last time, some of them actually still went up high after the announcement. Some of them would dip right back. It's not a disappointment, but even if they beat the estimate very well, even if they say the stronger outlook revise again, you will still could be going down because people were just taking profit taken what they have already bought the stock at the dip at this point Monday, or maybe even early. I mean P3 even 2 weeks ago. You will still probably making money for FANG. So you can see the market could dip. So I'm looking at next week, the first few days could be still going up. Okay, at some point then you may drop slightly and then bounce back, and you will have a week to end to a high point. Then you will start to dip again, just like these other one. You can see it go up to a point, you would dip a little bit, right? Here to here. You look at here, well, this is a little bit more steep, but this one is a little smaller, right? Before you go up again, right? So you can see this, you go up and you will have a dip before you climb up further with the momentum. So my prediction after that, you would dip a little bit, maybe for another 3 days or so, and then you push the market higher. And this point, if you look at the endpoint of V-shape here, which is on Monday, obviously, 19, you actually will take it from a perspective longer of the trend. You can go back and look at the statistic and draw your own graph. It will be last about 1 month, which is for 3 weeks. Not let's say 4 weeks, but 3 weeks, okay? So if 19, you do the math of you will be, 3 to 4 weeks, close to, maybe not less than that, but 3 to 4 weeks. You are heading into the mid-August. That's still going to be the, very bullish. So if you at this point you look at stuff that you're going to buy in, you still have an opportunity up to that point to profit. That's just my, my taking in the technical graph. Okay. So now I'm going back to giving you a quick week out of last week. What happened? Asian market slipped with a concern of Delta, bringing worries to investors as well in the U.S. market. Dow Jones Industrial Futures dropped 500 points but continued rising to 920 points for the intraday. WTI crude also dropped dramatically to 66.50, causing energy stock to be pummeled. S&P 500 fell 2%. Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 2.5% or 872 points. The Nasdaq was down 1.3% with Monday market close. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America were in the red. Facebook, Google, Alphabet, Apple, and Microsoft, Amazon.com were more than 1% lower. Airline and cruise stock will continue to slump. The UK recorded more than 50,000 new cases for the first time in 6 months on Friday. Asian market fell again Tuesday, but declines were least steep compared to Monday. The Shanghai Composite closed 0.07%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index lost 0.89%. Tokyo Nikkei 225 declined by 0.96%. European market recovered some loss on Tuesday after FTSE 100 closed at a 3-month low, and the DAX ended the day at a 2-month low on Monday. Cryptocurrency continued to tumble with oil was at low $66. The yield on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note plummeted below 1.2% to about 1.18% before recovering in late trading, its lowest level in 5 months. The S&P 500 rebound Tuesday as investors took advantage, bringing down travel-related stock and financials following a rough previous day. The sell-off on Monday was largely attributed to fears that resurgence in COVID-19 infection would stall the recovery. The industrials were one of the biggest sector gainers, followed by airline. on Tuesday, right? Energy also recovered some of the losses from a day earlier. So if you will buy a dip on the Monday and then you already profit, and I believe, on average, the cruise stock up about 6% and the airline is about 6% or so as well. Bitcoin, however, slipped below $30,000. Market continued to rebound with a positive earning report, overshadowed concern of slowdown in future economic growth. Semiconductor company ASML Holdings, symbol ASML, increases sales outlook amid a sharp global shortage. On the other side of the chip spectrum, German automaker Diamond AG, symbol DJIA, declined 0.8% as the Baden-Württemberg-based firm cut sales forecast Europe. UBS smashed second quarter profit forecast. The Swiss bank's net profit clocked in at $2 billion. Among the FAANG, which is Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google, Netflix stock fell after the streaming giant reported net drop of 430,000 subscribers in its important North American market in the quarter. Current forecast also shrunk from original 5 million new subscribers to 3.5 million. Again, that's why I actually recommended Disney versus Netflix. But Disney obviously still got beat up at this point, around 170-ish. So Chesapeake Mexican Grill, symbol CMG, stock rose 4.3% after the fast food chain impressed with its quarterly result. While as the market and economy continue to reopen in U.S., retail and restaurant and again leisure and travel should also be improved. So Coca-Cola and Johnson & Johnson also rose. MGM Resorts, symbol MGM, stock rose 0.6% after the casino operator announced plan along with his partner Orix, symbol IX, to build its first casino resort in Japan. So these again long-term vision that should be helping out the MGM company. United States Airlines, UAL, stock rose 1.8% after airline reported a quadrupling in revenue from a year ago at domestic travel return. And I did get feedback from people saying that, there are a lot of more travel, more people, kind of plane gonna get packed airport and get a lot more people. So United Airlines, basically saying this already kind of returned to the normal capacity. It was a lot earlier than expected. So even though they're not making money last year, they're still gonna play and catch up. This stock is still, in my opinion, is really a great buy. Well, if you don't trust me, you go look back before pre-pandemic. United Airlines stock was at actual record high $92 a share. So this week, last week was actually making a $56 strong to fell back to $45. Is actually a great opportunity to buy. $45, $90, you still get a 50% discount, right? And this is different than XPEV, same paying, or some other stock I recommended because they are having profitability and they were profit. It's just because the pandemic really dropped them down, and now when the economy is going to reopen, they really see they will record much stronger sales again and revenue and profit. Regarding Bitcoin, Caterpillar has added to a Bitcoin exposure with another purchase shares in Bitcoin Trust after the cryptocurrency fell below 30,000 on Tuesday. Gold was down due to dollar strength. Banks were hit hard amid the stumble in yield, but technology ranked up again gains as lower yield makes longer duration. U.S. future got a boost from a set of blockbuster tech earnings and were way up. Social media stocks Snap and Twitter were up after beating estimate. Stocks in Asia were mostly lower over concerned tighter regulation, and DJIA shares fell below. Actually, now is $8, not 10 anymore. The 10-year U.S. Treasury yield ended at 1.3%, with oil went back about $70. Bitcoin rebounded back to $32,000 level. Overall, the market was bullish, as you could see the graph, which I already illustrated earlier for using Dow Jones as an example. Nasdaq and may look a little bit different, but overall, still record high. S&P 500 may look a little bit different between the time, but if you kind of look at the range and also the period of time, that going to the dip and rebound is a similar story, but the time period may be a little different. And, just have to move the graph a little bit, and then the duration of the drop may not, or maybe going up not as as long as Dow Jones. Just bear that in mind. So Dow rebounded from Monday 920 point loss to record high of 35,061.55. S&P 500 was up 2% to 4,327.16, and Nasdaq up 2.8% in a week. So it's a very amazing result with a strong comeback. New coronavirus cases, so I'm just giving an update on this, but this number is a little bit outdated because it's not the most current, right? Just bear in mind. New coronavirus climbed with all 50 states on Sunday, that's why Monday the market was dropping on the fourth day in a row on a rolling 7-day average, a rise not seen since the spring 2020 surge. Citing Johns Hopkins University data, the Delta variant of the coronavirus has now spread to more than 100 countries. The way it's spreading, it will soon become the most dominant strain globally, Dr. Bowman-Tsai, Regional Director at the World Health Organization Southeast Asia said. The Delta variant was reportedly reached the UK, US, Singapore, and many other nations. Coronavirus cases worldwide reached 192.78 million. COVID-19 deaths topped 4.14 million. Coronavirus cases in US have hit 54.14 million, probably a little more than that number now, with deaths about 625,000 people. That was what caused the sell-off again on Monday. Recent weaknesses in the stock market will likely be short-lived and won't extend into a large decline for two key reasons. Founder Tom Lee said in a note on Monday, which he proved he is right. The market already picked it up and actually in a record high again. I so far, like I said last year, I've been start tracking this person. I think in the big picture, he talked a big picture better in mind. It was pretty consistently correct. We don't expect this period of chop to lead to a larger 10% like decline for market. Sure, 3.5% sell off even to S&P 500, 4,100 is possible. So we see that well. On that Monday, actually did drop about 2.7% or 3% in some case. Bond yields being stable relative to Treasury is a positive signal for stock, while the West term structure usually invert when a correction looms. So West at this point is still, at that day, it went back to 22 point something. It dropped it down to the lowest of 15, and it bounced back to 17, but now it's still around the range of, remain lower than 20. So everything seems to be still looking good on that West index perspective or indicator perspective. These two reasons show that the market is rather stable. Lee expects the current weaknesses in stock to ultimately be a quick setup for risk assets to rally in the second half of 2021. He is at the same view as I am. Investors should focus on buying epicenter stock that poised to benefit from ongoing reopening of the economy, as well as a mega tech stock. So like I said, if you listen to my video, which of course some stocks still going down at this point, unfortunately, which is the cruise CCL, NCLH. They were at high at $30 and $33, and they dropped to as low as $19 to $21 on Monday. If you bought them back, they already rebounds back to $22 to $24.50. So if you have buy Monday dip, you make 10% already on those two stocks. And then obviously Apple was rebounding still pretty strong, which is the mega tech. I look at Tesla and still recommend I will wait until things were going down. When Bitcoin not going well, Tesla probably not going to go well. So they have relationship with that, which until Elon Musk want to break it. So you got to remember that, okay? That's maybe one explain why Tesla price wasn't doing very well when the expectation of the market reporting strong earning and I don't know if Tesla gonna beat the earning of the numbers. How's the revenue look like? I don't have a clue, but chances are they are actually gonna do well as well. We hope this better be good, but please also caution that there are times when markets sleep after these exceptional earnings come out. Just like I told you, with just very beginning, walk you through the graph. So this coming week, FANG announced earnings, you may, still going up, and then once earnings come announced, the actual may be down. But then my expectation is there also other sector, other good companies, strong company going to report earnings, so driving the rebound again to driving it, to another high up to mid-August, and hopefully we'll continue to see the market strong. over the next 3 weeks, just the way I explained it. Investors should look a little longer, like a month ahead instead of days. Where Fear Delta, travel, and leisure stock dip over 20%, Chinese stock were also still getting beat up with, Chinese government wanting more regulations, which somehow the market always see regulation as a bad thing, but I don't think so. I think some satellite education in China, if you will read the article, you can't read the positive article. You read something bad write up of what's going on with these institutions, then you will get a balance, then you understand why they step in. But then, of course, there's more complicated than just the pure economic reasons. I'm not going to get into that, but some sort of regulation in certain thing, it really is a good thing. So I think this is just going to set up, uncertainty right now. Once it's get clarified, Chinese stock continue we push strong earning. The market ultimately, and hopefully the tariff war going on between China and U.S. will get compromised and make some good progress, good news. Then it will be, like I predict, the third or fourth quarter, the Chinese stock will rebound to a low. So Pinduoduo is actually below $100 now, which is really a pretty good opportunity to buy. I wouldn't say it won't go down even lower than that, but ultimately it will rebound. And Tencent, I think this is one of the largest high-tech stock in China, which have really great gamings, have different ways in investment that make their portfolio very solid. So I think these, with these FANG also reporting great earning, and have to see how investors going to react. Yield curve remains low, should provide good lending environment for these growth company, the startup and the small company and the high tech company. So let's enjoy the ride. Hopefully the rally will continue. I hope my prediction will be correct. If you have any questions and want to know what stock to buy, just let me know. But I have not changed my story. I still believe the one I provided to you for the stock are good to buy. Should you buy a vaccine stock? Maybe you will consider Pfizer. So what I'm looking at, I don't think Pfizer have gone up that much compared to Moderna, Biotech, and the other one, I forgot what's the name, Johnson Johnson. So Pfizer may still have good opportunity there if you are looking into the want to buy vaccination stock. Otherwise, I can't imagine. Moderna $300 doesn't make any sense. When the market can flip, it may drop very quickly back to $100. Okay, the chip stock. Yes, I hear the shortage of stock of chips, but I really wouldn't recommend you to buy NVIDIA, and it's a symbol NVIDIA. Well, they have a more advanced chip, which is more advantage than other chip processing company, but $800 a share. That's just a little crazy in my mind. You have to look at profitability, because after August, which is now I'm not going to talk about it, I probably will start to talk about stock valuation again. I think the market happy walk away from stock valuation for a few months already. Eventually we'll come back to that realization. Then you can look at whether it's cheap stock, $800, Tesla $650, Apple $146, Google $2750. Are these really the right market price, right? Of course, people willing to pay for it, just like Bitcoin. You can go up to $50,000. Somebody willing to pay for anything is worth it, right? So what the market thinks versus what the valuation, which is using systematic mathematical calculation, can be totally different, right? But I still want to bring that up to you. So stay tuned for the August YouTube again. I'll bring it up and talk about few stock. Hope you have a great and wonderful weekends, and hope we will continue to make money at least from this up to next month. And hope growth stock will do some rebound with the leisure stock as well when things seems to be okay. I think people will travel quite a bit in summer, so those will be, no matter what, will be a good investment in the future. And the Chinese stock, China is a big players in the world regardless. The GDP is really big, and the second quarter year today, they will have a 12.7% growth. So something that cannot be underestimated. Even though, yes, we don't like regulations, but I still think sometimes regulation come in not good, but in the long run, you see the values for that and how you make the market to be more stable and systematic and more reliable. If I use the word. Have a nice, wonderful day.